Welcome back to Overly Simplified Latin. Today we will be talking about participles. They may seem like a daunting topic, but hopefully by the end of this video you will learn what they look like and how to translate them. Let's take a look at an example sentence with the participle in it. If you follow the notion that a verb is an action, it would seem that the sentence, "The dog standing in the corner is brown," has two verbs, the is and the standing. However, standing does more than just be an action. It is describing something. It is describing which dog. So which dog are we talking about? The dog that is standing in the corner. So let's pretend there's another dog. By stating the dog is standing in the corner, you know which dog I'm referring to. So, as you can see, the dog standing in the corner, I'm referring to this one because he is doing the action of standing in the corner, and I'm describing this one instead of this one swimming in some water. So these verbal adjectives are called participles. So let's take a look at this new sentence. The dog swimming in the water is wet. Can you tell me which one the participle is? Remember, a participle is a verbal adjective. Yes, it's swimming. Swimming is the action, and it's also describing the dog. So if you have a verb that's acting as an adjective, that is a participle. Take a look at these two columns. You notice that the dog is standing is an example of a verb, but the standing dog is an example of a participle. But how are they different? Well, let's remember that a participle is a verbal adjective. So in a sentence, the dog is standing. Standing isn't describing anything, it's just an action. But if you need a way to find out whether it's a verb or a participle, look for these helping words like is or was. That will let you know that it is a verb rather than a participle. So in this next sentence, the cat sings a song. The cat is doing an action of singing a song. It is not describing anything. I don't have a situation where two cats are doing something. But if I look at the sentence, the cat singing a song is Tibby, I don't have any helping word. I just have a sentence and a singing describing the cat. So take a look at these examples of participles. You will notice that they all meet the qualification of participles by being verbal and also describing something, in this case, a duck. So make sure to jot down the phrases having been, about to, and about to be in your notes so you can remember them down the road as participle starters. So let's take a look on how these participles are formed in Latin. Let's make a chart, something like this. My first participle will be the ing form of the verb, and today I will be using the participle meaning to send. The present active participle comes from the second principal part, which is mittere, taking off the re and then adding an ns or an nt plus an ending for any other case. Luckily for us, there is no present passive participle, so you do not have to learn that one. There are also no perfect active participles. You could technically put your deponent verbs into this category, but by deponent, I'm referring to those verbs that look passive but have an active meaning. The perfect passive is an easy one to remember. You just take your fourth principal part, missum, and give it all three gender forms, such as missus, misa, missum. You will notice that I have having been in parentheses. You may add them to your translation, but whether they are there or not, sent is still a participle. Here's a really important note. You will see that I have two sentences with the word sent in it. She sent me to the store, and I, having been sent to the store, bought milk. In the first sentence, sent is a verb. Sent is not describing anything, it is just an action. But in my second sentence, I, having been sent to the store, bought milk, I'm describing someone. I am describing myself. I have been described as having been sent to the store. But if you ever get mentally stuck trying to figure out whether something is a verb or it is a participle, try adding having been in front of it. Does it make sense? For example, she, having been sent me to the store, doesn't make any sense. But if I took off I, sent to the store, bought milk, that makes perfectly good sense. Future active participles are made from the fourth principal part. The difference you see from the perfect passive is the UR before the endings. In fact, the word future itself is an old remnant of a future active participle, and that's why there's a UR in it. These verbal adjectives describe something that is going to happen. You will see this form in future active infinitives as well as periphrastics. The future passive participle comes from the second principal part without the RE, but adds an ND before the gendered endings. These participles describe something that is going to happen to them. For example, about to be sent. These are commonly used to show obligation, and they're known as gerundives, which is why must be sent is also an appropriate translation. So that's it. Those are your 4 different types of Latin participles. You have survived.